Hello, YouTube. So today I'd like to tell you about emotional vampires, and I like to refer to them as EVs. And EVs are much different than your average low-life moocher in the fact that your average low-life just wants a free ride, and they will take whatever you will give them. They will ask you for money, food, clothing, pay their bills, whatever. They don't even give you a sob story every single time. They just expect you to do it. An EV is different. They don't want anything from you but every last ounce of emotional energy you have inside of you. They want to squeeze every drop they can get from your very being. I wrote an article on this, and I'm putting the link in the more info box because 10 minutes just isn't going to be enough for me to explain exactly what an EV is and how to spot one. And the article is called How to Spot the Emotional Vampire in Your Life, 7 Signs to Look For. And so I'll leave that link in there. And this video is just sort of a preface of how to spot an emotional vampire. The best way that I can express this is just to give you a really good understanding of what type of person an emotional vampire is. They're very narcissistic. They're very charismatic. They are generally very well educated, very artistically talented people. They're the life of the party. And if you think about a party that you've gone to where there's a person who is entertaining a crowd of people and they're the darling of the party. Yet there's a small group of people outside of that circle who are rolling their eyes or showing that they do not share the same affection for the center of attention that the people surrounding them show towards that person. Generally, those people have already dealt with that EV. They already know the drain that that person can bring to your life. So always beware of someone who just instantly clicks with you, who seems to share all the same interests that you have. Tread with caution. EVs are chameleons. They can adapt to your environment to obtain their goal. They usually start out a relationship giving, 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 and you think this person just can't be real. And then the taking, their fee for all they've given, every emotional drop you have inside of you. Some drama or crisis happens and you're a good friend, you're there for them, and they just let it all out. So-and-so wronged me, or my husband did this, or my sister did that, and you're there to give them a pat on the back and tell them it's all okay. And you feel good because you're being a good friend. And this person's so sweet. And look at all they do for people. And that person goes home and you feel good. You feel good about yourself. And then it happens again. They show up and it's another crisis. And you're a good friend again. And you feel good about yourself. And they've gotten their need, their sympathy, their good words, their fulfillment of your energy. And they're on their way. And then it happens again, and you're in the middle of a temper tantrum with your 3-year-old, and your husband's not in a good mood, and you tell them, I really don't have time. Nobody has time for me. No, I didn't mean I didn't have time for you. Oh, it's okay. No one cares. And there you are, giving energy you don't have at that moment to give. You've been manipulated into it, and you dutifully as a friend do it, but you begrudge it. And when they leave, you feel actually a little guilty for having been so selfish, because they're so happy when they leave. You made everything so much better because you gave them energy you didn't have. They feel better because they're recharged. Not because you were such a good friend and you had such great advice, but because you recharged them. Yet, you're sitting there creating more energy towards them, feeling guilty that you were so reluctant at first. But then it happens again, and again, and again, to the point you don't want to answer your phone, you don't want to answer your door. You can't remember the last time you just went out and did something with this person that was fun, that didn't involve hearing about another one of their problems or another issue in their life. You avoid this person at all costs. You can't pinpoint why. Everybody else seems to love this person. They haven't really wronged you in any way. They just take a lot of work to be friends with. You better believe it. And they take a lot more work to sever that friendship. A lot more. But you have to. They'll drain you dry every time. There are some very, very strong things you have to follow in order to rid yourself of an EV. And that's what my next video will be on, is how to rid yourself of the EVs in your life. They're very difficult to shake off and get rid of, but it can be done. Once you spot them, you know who they are, and once you understand why you do and react the way that you do towards them, you can alter your reactions, and you can actually make the EV want to go away. You are being manipulated by the EV all the time. Every situation that arises, every time you try and sever it off, and the guilt you feel, it's all a manipulation. It's time to manipulate the EV out of your life. And that's what my next video will be for. So if you're curious, based on what I just said a little briefly about EVs, click on the link, follow it, read the article on the 7 ways to spot an EV in your life, and look for the next video on how to rid yourself of these narcissistic, draining people who are really doing you no good. And for your health, your family, and your sanity, you just gotta say, boing, goodbye, we're done. And you have to be able to do that firmly and without guilt. And that's where the EV has you, because they've mastered the manipulation and implanted and embedded all these thoughts that make you question your decision to cut them out of your life. And I'll explain that in my next video. I hope you found this somewhat interesting, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box. And thank you, YouTube. You guys all have a great day.